How to fix Pubg low FPS and crashing on 1080 Ti system. Welcome back to Teknobalta. Today, we are tackling a severe performance issue where PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds experiences extreme low frame rates, dropping to 3 to 5 FPS, and consistently crashing to the desktop. At Teknobalta, we analyzed this specific error occurring on a system equipped with a powerful GTX 1080 Ti 11GB graphics card, 16 GB of RAM, and an Intel Core i5 6400 processor running on an ASUS Z170p motherboard. During our testing, we found it fascinating that graphically demanding titles like Red Dead Redemption 2 run flawlessly at 2K Ultra settings, with 30 to 60 FPS on this exact hardware. However, when launching Steam Pubg, the game either completely freezes, refuses to open, or immediately crashes. Our team confirmed that this is a classic architectural mismatch, rather than a standard software glitch. Let us dive into the comprehensive steps to diagnose, optimize, and completely resolve this frustrating bottleneck. First, we need to address the core hardware diagnostic regarding the severe processor bottleneck. Our analysis showed that the Intel Core i5 6400 is drastically underpowered compared to the massive rendering capabilities of the GTX 1080 Ti. The graphics card is incredibly strong, but the processor simply cannot feed it data fast enough. Understanding the difference between game engines is crucial to solving this problem. We verified that Pubg is a highly CPU-intensive application, relying heavily on processor calculations for physics, player tracking, and vast map data. This explains why a GPU-heavy game like RDR2 runs perfectly, while Pubg crashes under the extreme processor load. To immediately alleviate some of this processor strain, we recommend increasing your in-game display resolution. By pushing the resolution to 1440p or 4K, you force the GTX 1080 Ti to work much harder. This effectively shifts the processing burden away from the struggling processor and onto the highly capable graphics card. Another method our team confirmed involves modifying the render scale setting directly within the Pubg graphics menu. Increasing the render scale beyond 100% forces the game to render at a higher internal resolution before downscaling it to your monitor. This forces the graphics card to take on more of the workload without requiring a new physical monitor. Next, we need to optimize the NVIDIA control panel to prevent the graphics card from waiting on the processor. Open the control panel, navigate to Manage 3D Settings, and locate the Power Management mode. Change this setting from Optimal Power to Prefer Maximum Performance to keep the GPU clocks elevated and responsive. Background applications are silent killers for bottlenecked processors. At Teknobalta, we tested the impact of background tasks and strongly advise opening the Task Manager to disable unnecessary startup programs. Closing web browsers, chat applications, and game launchers frees up vital computational cycles for Pubg. Windows power plans can also restrict your processor from reaching its maximum turbo frequency. Navigate to your Windows control panel, access the power options, and select the High Performance or Ultimate Performance power plan. This ensures your processor is constantly supplied with maximum voltage for uninterrupted processing speed. To forcefully dedicate processor resources, we can utilize CPU core affinity through the Task Manager Details tab. While Pubg is running, right-click the game executable, select Set Affinity, and ensure all available processor cores are checked. This prevents Windows from arbitrarily parking cores while the game is demanding maximum performance. Outdated motherboard firmware can severely limit communication speeds between your processor and system memory. We highly recommend visiting the official ASUS website to download the latest BIOS update for the Z170p motherboard. Flashing the newest BIOS can improve hardware stability and optimize data delivery to your graphics card. Windows full-screen optimizations often interfere with exclusive full-screen modes in older game engines. Locate your main Pubg executable file in the Steam directory, right-click to open Properties, and navigate to the Compatibility tab. Check the box labeled Disable Full-Screen Optimizations to grant the game direct control over your display output. Keeping your chipset drivers updated is essential for maintaining efficient communication across your motherboard. Navigate to the Intel driver support page and run their automated detection tool to install the latest chipset software. This ensures your processor handles peripheral and memory requests with minimal latency. System memory speed plays a massive role in mitigating processor bottlenecks. Restart your system, enter the ASUS BIOS, and verify that the Extreme Memory Profile, or XMP, is fully enabled. Running your 16 GB of RAM at its maximum rated speed allows the processor to access game assets much faster. Adjusting specific in-game settings can drastically reduce the mathematical load on your processor. We found that lowering the view distance and post-processing settings in Pubg provides immediate relief to the processor. Keep your textures on Ultra to utilize the 11 GB of RAM on the 1080 Ti, but keep processing-bound settings absolutely low. Game file corruption often masquerades as a hardware crash, especially during heavy load spikes. Open your Steam library, right-click Pubg, navigate to Local Files, and select Verify Integrity of Game Files. This process scans your installation and replaces any broken assets that might be triggering the desktop crashes. Expanding your Windows page file can provide a crucial safety net when your physical memory and cache are overwhelmed. Access the Advanced System Settings, open the Performance options, and manually set your virtual memory to a fixed size of 16384 MB. This ensures steady data swapping during intense gameplay moments. Overlays add unnecessary rendering instructions that directly tax the processor. We strongly suggest disabling the Steam in-game overlay, the Discord overlay, and the NVIDIA GeForce Experience overlay. Removing these background hooks frees up a surprising amount of processing power for the game engine itself. Finally, while these software and configuration optimizations will significantly improve stability, the ultimate solution is a hardware upgrade. Our team concluded that upgrading the processor to a more modern architecture is the most logical long-term fix. Pairing the powerful GTX 1080 Ti with a newer generation processor will completely eliminate the bottleneck and unlock massive frame rates in Pubg. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more.